现在公布一下运动员的比赛场地：1号台陈哲、徐天伟；3号台刘海涛、陈双友；5号台理查德、哈里德、阿里坡戴尔；17号台特拉布哈苏人刘正杰；19号台拉德利格尔达莱孙源；21号台格高奥日狠恩铁木真；TV2号台沈申义赵建波；TV1号台安德鲁佩吉特郝天。请运动员抓紧时间到比赛场地进行检录。
1号台陈哲、徐天伟，3号台刘海涛、陈双友，5号台理查德·哈里德、阿里坡戴尔，17号台特拉布哈苏人刘正杰，19号台拉德利格尔达莱孙源，21号台格冈奥日狠恩铁木真，TV2号台沈申义赵建波，TV1号台安德鲁佩吉特郝天。请以上运动员抓紧时间进入比赛场地检录，比赛马上开始。
在检录结束后，请跟随各自裁判，稍后有统一的入场仪式。本届赛事诚挚感谢深度合作伙伴 Joy 乔氏中式台球球桌、比利时雅乐美台球、LP 球杆、野豹台球杆、奥秘台球杆、毒蜘蛛球杆、天耀球杆、菲瑞威力球杆、李斯球杆、奥斯本兹球杆、林肯球杆、塔里克球杆、利百文8848台泥、H153台泥、小麦皮头、超级蓝钻皮头、TP 巧克粉、库洛克巧克粉、幸运1号巧克粉、胜利者沙发、天一沙发、正红胶边、罂粟胶边、老鹰胶边、欧尚地毯、星星暴走、维厨酒庄。感谢官方赛事系统服务商北京乔氏以利科技有限公司、指定官方配件商城、卓越台球商城等单位和品牌对赛事的大力支持。要特别鸣谢人民网、新华网、新浪体育、今日头条等20余家综合媒体平台、抖音、快手、优酷、火山等视频平台、微博、微信等综合媒介及生活平台等互联网新媒体的大力支持。赛事详细信息推荐查阅微信订阅号“台球圈有料”。
乔氏杯第13届中式8球国际大师赛全球总决赛，以空前的国际化规模、顶级的办赛水准、深厚的文化赋能、强烈的奥林匹克精神表达，成功树立了中国原创体育赛事走向世界的典范。亮点1：史无前例的规模与广度。大赛吸引了全球96个国家和地区的800余名运动员参加，覆盖地域、人数均创行业历史新高，涵盖台球传统强国与新兴市场，标志着中式8球玩法经过去年乔氏投入1.5亿元的全球推广，普及度实现飞跃式提升。亮点2：高规格强背书。大赛吸引了5位国际奥委会 IOC 委员、36位国家奥委会 NOC 委员莅临，得到国际奥协 ANOC、世界台球联合会 WCBS、世界撞球协会 WPA、亚洲台球联盟 ACBS 和中国台球协会 CBSA 等国际、洲际和国家级权威组织鼎力支持。成 成都市体育局、双流区政府高层出席，有效提升运动国际形象，并联动促进地区体育经济发展。亮点3：专业制播与全球传播矩阵。赛事采用国际级高水平转播制作，包括13台多机位、超高速慢动作、专业数据统计等，提升观赛体验与专业形象，构建立体传播网络，覆盖新华社、人民日报等央媒、互联网新媒体以及 YouTube、Facebook 等全球性流媒体平台，实现30+1次曝光，极大扩展赛事全球影响力。亮点4：文化交融与奥林匹克仪式感。开闭幕式创新设计，球员入场式被誉为微缩版奥运会，彰显运动尊严，提升球员荣誉感。盛大的联欢晚会，进一步增进了友谊与团结，致敬奥林匹克精神。亮点5：激情宣言引发全球共鸣。乔元徐董事长开幕式发表：真正的运动无需翻译，黑八可以滚平文明的沟壑，中式八球成为新国球等宣言，直指运动本质与普世价值，引发全球台球爱好者强烈共鸣。
激响全人类的共鸣。
亮点6：中国文化魅力绽放。赛事氛围营造巧妙融入中国传统及四川本地特色文化，为国际参与者提供沉浸式中华文化体验，成为名副其实的国际文体交流盛会。发布专属赛旗、推广曲《征途》，励志曲《无可阻挡》，与金号角奖杯一起构成中式八球运动精神图腾。亮点7：央视顶级平台强力助推。央视总台著名主持人朱迅倾情助阵 ，CCTV 5+直播终极决赛，将赛事公众影响力推向新高度。亮点8：助力世运会历史突破。赛事为乔氏推动中式八球首次跻身2025年成都世运会项目助威，铭记推中入奥路上里程碑时刻。亮点9：战略升级，彰显定位。大师赛首次走出起源地秦皇岛，落户中国新一线城市成都，向世界传递高端、开放、国际化的战略定位升级信号。亮点10：跨界融合与高额激励。斯诺克转型选手牛壮立刻强敌夺冠，展现技术融合优势，生动诠释大师赛人人皆大师奋斗理念。500万元冠军奖金，继续保持台球赛事奖金之最纪录，凸显赛事强大商业价值与竞技新引力。
远水平生，天下和民。一杆定乾坤，小城大外交的东方叙事。当名山时的10000年沉淀，化作球桌上的方寸天地；当芷江和平中的千年回响，激荡在台球碰撞的脆响中。这座曾以受降名城，铭刻民族脊梁的小城，这里曾见证中华民族1寸山河1寸血的抗争。来自5大洲的选手击球开赛。乔氏集团董事长乔永许所言：“从巷口球房到洲际赛场，我们击出的不仅是黑八，更是人类对和平的永恒守望。”一杆定乾坤，小球赚大球。只将与世界此刻共击球。中式八球国际大师赛。Heyball Monsters， 这里是第4届怀化市旅发大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式8球大师赛超级分站赛芷江站第3阶段败部第3轮的比赛。接下来欢迎运动员、裁判员。And now let's welcome athletes and referees. Table 1， 1号台由来自中国陈哲对阵来自中国徐天伟，裁判佘真真。Table 3， 3号台由来自中国刘海涛对阵来自中国陈双友，裁判玉林。Table 5， 5号台由来自南非理查德哈里德对阵来自伊朗阿里托代尔，裁判徐景言。Table 17， 17号台由来自蒙古特拉布哈苏人对阵来自中国台北刘正杰，裁判张月秋。Table 19， 19号台由来自蒙古拉德里格尔达莱对阵来自中国孙源，裁判李亚萌。Table 21， 21号台由来自蒙古格刚老日痕对阵来自蒙古恩铁木真，裁判杨嘉黎。 Table TV2 TV2号台由来自中国申申义对阵来自中国赵建波，裁判王鹏轩。中巴转动世界球童 John Blair's Unity the World 最后登场 TV1号和平之江台。本场比赛将由来自英国 Andrew 安德鲁佩奇特对阵来自中国郝天，主裁判张毅，助理裁判杨俊奇、宋明明。请移步比赛神器乔氏金腿球桌。此刻，我们正在芷江为各位直播第4届怀化市旅发大会暨 LP 球杆乔氏杯2025中式发球大师赛超级分站赛。Please take a photo together. 芷江比赛开始。
好，大家你好，安德鲁佩奇科特，你好，请双手正读开始选择权，听我口令预备，3、2、1，开始。安德鲁佩奇特获得开始选择权。比赛开始，第1局，安德鲁佩奇特开球。
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Day 6, Stage 3 here at the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Super Tour, Zhijiang Station in China. Closing in on the last 8 now. I believe players like Gareth Potts, with 2 wins so far, unbeaten in Stage 3 through to the last 16. Yesterday we eliminated 8 players from the last 32, so just 24 remaining. This is the losers bracket round 3. So we will be eliminating more players after this session. On the TV table, Andrew Paget from the UK against Hao Chen. Now, the strange thing is, these 2 players met yesterday morning in the first match of Stage 3, as it is a draw before each round. Hao Chen winning that 13-11 over Andrew, so both these players would know each other's games well, know exactly what they're in store for in a match like this. Now, Andrew Paget, former professional snooker player, highest ranking 42nd in the world, also a consistent top 32 finisher in the Joy Station events. Hao Chen, his opponent, also consistent top 32, made the top 8 in the Changchun Super Station last year. So he won his first match against Paget and lost his next match against Zhang Tai, World Games gold medalist, 13-7 last night. So the winners bracket and the players that are through from the side of the losers bracket will be playing later tonight, and this is how it starts. So 2 sessions a day, and if you are in the losers bracket and hope to stay in the tournament, you will be playing 2 matches a day, whereas the players from the winners bracket, just 1 match per day in the evening. And that's how it goes right to the final. So we have seen it that players coming through the losers bracket, fatigue can affect them. As we see Hao Chen with a rack and run off Andrew's try break, and that's 1-0 to Hao Chen in this race to 13. This is a winner break format. I just want to pull up some statistics from their previous match yesterday morning. I'd like to see the run-out rate in that match. Yeah, so 13-11 to Hao Chen. Andrew Paget with 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs, and Hao with 6 break and runs, 4 rack and runs. So you can see both these players quite high with the finishes, and yeah, I'd say that Hao Chen should be breaking well from what I can see. Oh, I think we'll call that commentator's curse. Trust me, guys, he can't hear me. It's only you guys on the stream that can hear me. Yeah, we do see that more often than you think, actually, because, and that's a legal break actually, because 4 balls just have to make contact with the cushion. So I think we're in for a scrappy frame unless Paget can somehow get into the pack. I think he might do it from the 14. It could be on, yeah? If he heads into the 1 and the 8, it should push the 12. It should push the 12 towards the left-hand side of the table. That's if he chooses to do that now. I do think he has the angle. so he's bumped the 9. And it looks like the 2, he's gotten unlucky with the 2. Yeah, nice shot from Paget. That's just one problem in the middle of the table for him, but have a look at his opponent at the table. Those solids on the right-hand side currently not potable. And he has the 1 that's in the bunch. Now the 1 could actually go to the right center. I think he's doubling this towards the stripe. Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, this is going to be slightly scrappy frame after that break. So currently 8 matches in play, and you can find the other tables live on WPA Live TV and Table 1, TV Table 1 streamed on our platforms, Joy Heyball World Tour, Facebook and YouTube page. If you are looking for the draw or live scores, that is on the WHT World Heyball Tour Facebook page. I think you just have to scroll 3 or 4 posts down and you'll find it. I've shared it to my personal Facebook page as well. And if this is your first time on the stream, I'm the Joy Heyball commentator, Raymond Tilak from South Africa, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you and bringing you this live stream, live from the event. Yeah, so 8 matches on at the moment, which means that, and this is the losers bracket, which means we will lose another 8 players. 8 players will be knocked out, the losers from today. And that means by tonight we will be down to the last 16 players left in the tournament. Now Andrew Paget is a seeded player, so he does come in to stage 2 of these Joy events. As I said earlier, former professional snooker player. Nickname the Welsh Wizard. Yeah, nice little hold on the cue ball there off the left cushion, and there we see the black ball does pot to the right center pocket. Yeah, the amount of inside English that he needed there to check the cue ball off the right hand side cushion. And Andrew Paget able to steal that scrappy frame as he gets his first point on the board. The score 1-all in this race to 13. We are playing on the Joy Q8 golden leg steel block table. It's the premier equipment to play this game on. It is clothed with the Liebowin 8848. Best conditions to play the game of Heyball on. It's a really nice fine nap. It's quite fast. And players are enjoying the consistency that comes off this cloth. And that's the reason it's being used throughout. You'd see in all the international Heyball events, especially the WPA Joy Continental events, we're using Joy Q8 and we are using Lieberwin 8848. So it's become the international standard for these Heyball events, and there's a reason why. It's because it's the best. So Andrew making 2 balls in on that break. Yeah, that might be a costly one, as we see that again. He's just overcut that. But the solid has gone safe, so there is a chance that we might see his opponent take stripes. Yeah, because the 9 and the 14 towards the bottom right of your screen, they do pot. Well, definitely the 9 goes and it will release the 14 if the 14 currently doesn't go. Yeah, now this will tell us if the 14 goes because he's not on the 9. I don't think the 15 goes. That gentle little cannon into the black ball was a tricky one. He could have gotten stuck behind it. Back into the black ball again, small touch, and yeah, I'm not liking that one because he's now pushed it behind the 5, which blocks its path to the bottom left. Yeah, I'm thinking coming around, playing the black ball into the same pocket. Yeah, there we go, 2 cushions, a little bit pacey. It's got a lot on that. And this black ball for his second point. And it's there, another rack and run for Hao Chen, currently on 2 rack and runs. So how it works is a rack and run is if you can make a clearance of your opponent's break on your first visit to the table. So we saw that wasn't a dry break from Andrew. He did pot a ball, he was at the table, missed the 2 to the top corner pocket, and Hao Chen coming to the table on his first visit makes the clearance. That counts as a rack and run in the game of Heyball.
第4局，昊天开球。
And that's looking like a dry break to me. He's not hit that with too much power, but So it looks like he didn't get that much control out of it, so he didn't hit that as well as he could have. Currently 2-1 up. But I can tell you what, Andrew is going to be fighting. Knows exactly what his opponent is capable of. Knows that if he can't make the clearance, or if there's a few balls tied up, then he should be winning that frame based on his tactical knowledge as well. As you saw in the frame where it was slightly scrappy. Yeah, Andrew's just trying to force it at the moment at 3 to get the cue ball back around the table to the middle. Hao Chen on stripes, and they all go. They currently all go. It's just the only outlier for me is the 14. Yeah, that's 14 taken care of. He's looking like he's quite straight on the 9 to the center. That'll be the next ball to take care of and then move to the top of the table. Closer to your work with the 3 stripes and the black ball. A black ball would be available into all 4 of the pockets on the top of the table on our screens. That's the referee calling 10 seconds and counting down from 5. So players have 45 seconds per shot, one extension of 30 seconds per frame. He just had a touch of an angle there. He was able to get into the 1 and use the 1 to actually get the cue ball up table. Oh, how's he done that? That was a careless error from Hao Chen. And now Andrew at the table, 6 solids left. Yeah, right. Go into the 1, just push the 1 slightly down. Nicely done. Now the difference in this situation is all the solids are on this end of the table and he has to have a connector, have the right angle on the connecting ball to get to the black ball. And now the black ball not available into one of the center pockets, although I'd rather be using one of the corners. Yeah, just enough on that one. It's a little bit pacey. That is a little bit pacey. He's okay. This is a slight tester. Yeah, that was a bit of a tester, and Andrew he's not fully comfortable out there at the moment, but race to 13. There is enough time. And that actually almost stayed out. You saw that wiggle, another millimeter or two to the left of the pocket, and that was not in. Quite the angle on this, so I'd be running this 1, 2, 3 cushions. There we go, 1, 2, 3. And still pacey. So it looks to me, the TV table, which is usually always the case, running slightly faster than the outside tables, as Hao Qian takes his third point, leading 3 frames to 1 against Andrew Paget. Yeah, another frame with a few visits each. So we are still at race to 13. It does increase after this match. So tonight race to 15, and it increases all the way to the final, which will be a race to 23, and that is on the 27th of September at 4 p.m. local time in China. Hao Qian currently 3-1 up. And he's made the 5 into the right center pocket. That was more of that controlled break that we talk about. Have a look at this. And when you see the cue ball coming off the pack and staying very central, that's when you know there's a lot of control going into that hit. I don't know about that. He's secured stripes, but what has he left himself? Did not want to be cannoning into any solids at that end of the table. Yeah, now the 15 being where it is, if he can't see the 15, that's the reason the 11 doesn't go. Jump cue. Yes. Yes, it's jump cue out, so jumping towards the 13 to the left corner, left center. Yeah, it's a tough shot coming in with pace like that, especially with the center pocket jaws. As soon as it makes contact with the jaw, and especially the ball is actually hopping in because the cue ball hops on it, it's then flying into the center pocket jaw. He's done well with that. Look at the amount of reaction he was able to get off that cue ball, especially stretching across half the table and bridging over the 10 ball. That shot becomes so tough, being hampered over another ball. Chance to go in the 6. There we go. could do, you could try and bank the 6 towards the corner and leave the cue ball behind the 7. Yeah, have a look at the cue ball. Doesn't want, he's going to miss the in off. Yeah, almost. That's almost perfect. If he didn't get such a big bounce, he would have been good. Cue ball would have been stuck up behind the 7 ball. That looks like, I was going to say it's worked out in Andrew's favor. So a player like Andrew would know exactly where to put the white ball or where to try and keep the white ball where his opponent doesn't have an easy shot. I mean, former professional snooker player, that's what they do so well. They're able to get that cue ball from the balk line back into balk behind the color, almost sitting on the balk cushion. So in that exchange, I would say that Andrew has won that exchange. He did leave a small pot on for his opponent, but it was a tough one. As you can see, he's at the table. Yeah, I think there's two ways. You could go 2 cushions around the black ball. There we go. Needs a nice bounce now. He needs a nice bounce. Where's the bounce when you need it? I think he still can get it raised. Bridge. It's there. Andrew Paget gets his 2nd point on the board. Currently trailing by 1 frame. Hao Chen 3-2 up in this race to 13.
第6局，安德鲁·佩吉特开球。
So currently 3-2 down, Andrew Paget to break. Yeah, good 2 into the center. So far the 2 frames he's won has been those that were slightly scrappy and had to use some tactics to get out of it and to secure that frame. Now, what he does need is to make a nice clearance, get a point on the board in that way, and I think then he'll start flowing in this match. purposely left the angle on the 5. That was a bit of a tough one. He's not happy, and I can see why. It's just not going for him at the moment. I mean, he pots that ball and he's almost out. A few recovery shots here from Hao Qian, because the first shot that he played, he understroked that. That was not where he wanted the cue ball. Yeah, he went for the 9 there, and luckily enough to be on the 10, but the 9's gonna be a problem. If the black did go into the bottom right, I would say it's okay. Unless, as we see this rattled in off the inside jaw. Look at that. Those usually don't go at that pace. Yeah, the only option I see for him, either he leaves an angle on the 9 to get the cue ball onto the right side of the table, or almost straight on it, rolls it through, plays the black ball into the center. Nope, that's not there. That's not there, and a nice open table for the incoming Andrew Paget. Played that very confidently. He's been a bit unlucky to land where he is, so close to that left side cushion. Another nice pot. He needs a bounce. Yeah, it's not going smoothly yet for Andrew. And this is the reason he's taking the 1 on. Is not nicely on the 5 to get back to the 1. Nice, needs to miss the stripe. And this is better, much better from Andrew. Gets his 3rd point on the board, equalizes at 3-3 in this race to 13. He'll be coming to the table to break in the next frame as well.
轩辕、赤霄、龙渊、干将、默邪、纯君、 成瘾，引领市场，肯定未来。林肯球杆。
7局，安德鲁·贝吉特开球。
So Andrew Paget to break in the 7th frame, currently 3-all. And that looks like a dry break. Yeah, it is. Hao Chen will be coming to the table. He's pushed the white off straight away. Off contact, it went very close to the left center pocket on our screens. And if you look at solids, everything, say out in the open, 3 does go to the center. He has the 1 and the 5 on that side as the connector, the 4 ball as well. The only outlier is the 6 ball. That's in the balk area. Black ball pots to the center with the cue ball preferably on the side of the table on our screen. Yeah, that's why he's taking the 6 now. Taking the 6 left him a long medium distance to long distance 1 to the bottom right corner pocket. And now there is an angle here, so you could stun towards the 14, play the 5, 3, 4. Yeah, I say if he'd have punched that a bit more, he would have been heading straight for the 14. Yeah, he definitely did soften up the stroke towards the end. Didn't punch that, and now wrong side of the 5. Can he hold? Yes. But now also not straight on the 3. Well, not perfectly straight, but he can definitely hold this for the 4 in the same pocket. So he's managed to recover that one. It's there. Black ball waits outside the right center pocket, and this will be a rack and run for Hao Chen off Andrew Paget's dry break. Yeah, it's there. Hao Chen, 3rd rack and run, 4th point of this match as he leads 4 frames to 3 in this race to 13. Currently, last 24 players remaining in this tournament. Double elimination all the way to the final. At the end of this round, we'll have just 16 players left.
第8局，昊天开球。
15 ball potted into the left center pocket. We see the 12 goes, the black ball goes. I don't think the 1 goes into the bottom from that angle. He's having a look at the black ball. I think it does go. I think if you're right behind it. Yeah, there we see. It looks like it's hard to tell because from this angle it looks like the 1 is slightly in front. From the other angle it looks like the black ball is slightly in front, heading towards that bottom right corner pocket on our screen. Oh, look at that. That I would have never expected. He's got that so fine. Now Andrew at the table. Now we'll know whether the 1 goes with the way he plays this clearance. Has to find a way to get into the 14 and 2 as well. There we go. Yeah, he's been unlucky in this match. He really has been. He's not getting a good run of the balls at the moment, is Andrew. He's pushed the 3 safe and it's hard work out there at the moment for him. And I do feel for him because I know exactly how it does feel if you aren't flowing and you're just not having a good day or good start to the session. But this is a race to 13, so I would say we are still at first quarter of this match. He's got time. He definitely does have time. After this frame, we will have a 5 to 10 minute player interval. Yeah, the 14 does go, but he's now on the wrong side of both to play the other one. And he has the 11 stuck to the cushion on the bottom of our screen. Well, not anymore. He has the cue ball stuck to the cushion. And that's not a great shot. He's left himself a blind pocket. Reverse cut to the bottom right corner pocket. These are tough. Yeah, it's a good pot. It's a good pot. I don't think he's on the 14 though. From here, no, I don't think it goes. It doesn't. Very high possibility that Andrew comes back to the table in this frame. Nope, it's not there. It's not there now. Andrew back at the table. The only problem I see is the 3 and the 6. However, numerical advantage. 6 solids on the table, so 6 playing 1. into the 6. Nice, nice, nice. It's good. Here we see this again. Yeah, that was well executed, just pushing the 6. He's made sure he's left himself low on the 2, up for the 3. Drop the 3 in on the 4. 4 connects to the black ball. That's not good. That is not good. So now, at the moment, numerical advantage gone. 2 playing 1. He's playing the kick, but he has to leave the cue ball on the cushion. And he's left the 14 now. Bit of pressure on the 14. If you miss, you lose. Seeing as where the 3 and the 4 currently are on the table. Yeah, you gotta punch this in nicely. No, it's not there. It's not there, and although I said miss you lose, it's gotten quite fortunate once again. And this is what I mean. Andrew has been getting a really bad roll of the balls. I think he can just, from here it looks like he can just get to the 3. Yeah, nicely done. There was a touch aside on that to just swerve the cue ball around the 4, and doing that playing up the nap is tough. So this black ball to make it 4-all as we go into the 8-frame player interval. And it's there, Andrew Paget equalizes at 4-all in this race to 13. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天，遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心，以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
原有止溪，里有蓝，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。 湖南省百名最美扶贫人物维楚酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。她带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范。助力富民产业与全域旅游生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅，1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼。楼高30多米，巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。维楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温馨浪漫的红酒文化之中。维楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄。同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间，人声鼎沸，好评如潮。维楚酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《侗情芷江》，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。维楚酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。维楚有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美侗乡酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人赵卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
Born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa our little boy has got the blues. You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
3结束，比赛继续，9局，安德鲁·佩吉特开球。
And we are back after that player break. Score 4-all currently in this race to 13. Winners break format between Andrew Paget from the UK against Hao Chen from China. both these players have played each other before in stage 3 in the last 32. That was yesterday morning. Now the reason for that is because there is a redraw before each round. Now that was the match that put Andrew in the loser's bracket, as he lost that 13-11. His opponent went on in the winner's bracket to face Zhang Tai yesterday evening and lost that match 13-7, which put him in the loser's bracket. Now Andrew won his match last night against Mohammad Reza Hassan 13-4. So at that point in time, both these players were back in the same bracket on the loser side. Redraw done this morning, and both of them playing each other once again. Playing for a spot in the last 16 now, as we will be eliminating another 8 players after the session, as this is round 3 of the losers bracket. 8 matches underway. These 16 players have taken 1 loss already. Now the 3 does go to the center pocket. That's a good pot. Well, 3 also goes to the corner now. Let's have a look at the 5 and the 7. Look, he could go into them from the 3, playing the 3 into the center. He goes, you're actually going to be slightly going off the 10 as well. You're going to be forcing your way off the 10 into the 7 and 5. That was the problem. That was my worry about that, as depending on the kiss you got on the 10, that's the trajectory of the cue ball. Now if he takes the 3, he opens the 12 for Andrew. He's definitely going to take the bank on, because he's going to be naturally on the 7. And it's not there. Andrew Paget to the table with the chance. Now the 12 is open. He has the 13 as well on the left-hand side, bottom left of the table on our screen. But once again, numerical advantage to Andrew, having 7 balls on the table, so 7 playing 2 at the moment. Yeah, he's got the jump cue out, so he's jumping the 7. He's aiming to pot this into the bottom left corner pocket. Off the black ball, that was what he was looking at. It's not a bad attempt. Yeah, Andrew can park the cue ball behind the black ball now. Nice contact on the 7, pushes the 15 back to the cushion. So now minus the 13. Andrew's got 3 balls near the cushion at the moment. He needs to fix that before he goes for the clearance. Okay, he's taken care of 1. Jump cue out once again. Yeah, foul, and player called the foul on himself, as we also saw the 11 move, but the referee did not see that at first. Yeah, props to the player for calling that. So now Andrew can take care of the 11. Problem, still the 12 ball at the moment. He did push the 13 over that bottom right corner pocket earlier in the frame. "12 ball sorted." That's a good shot. But as you can see, I mean, that ball could have gone and at least sat closer to the pocket, or the cue ball could have gotten into a better position. This is what I mean. It's been uphill for him. Yeah, I mean, that's really unlucky. He played an excellent shot to release the 12. And I mean, he could have gotten a better roll, be on the 13 or be on the 12 as well. As you can see, the 7 does go to the left center pocket. That's not the problem. Position on the 5 is. Yeah, he's taken that on because he could not see a way that he gets onto the 5 from the 7. 5 could not go past the stripes into the bottom right. And now, looking at the table, I have to say, Andrew a massive favorite to take the lead in this match. Yeah, nicely done from Andrew. And even with the miss earlier on the 14, he didn't leave his opponent with an easy opportunity. And this black ball for 5-4, and to take the lead for Andrew Paget in this race to 13. He does so. there we see it, 3 rack and runs for Hao Qian. So not as many break and runs and clearances as their previous meeting yesterday morning. So Andrew currently 5-4 up and to break. It's another dry break. There's a bit of a cluster on the top right-hand side of the table with the 2 solids, 2 stripes. From here it does look like the 1 goes. So stripes in play for Hao Qian. Now I'd say that he has the angle on the 10 to come off ball cushion, side cushion, and into 7 and 1. He could also play directly on it, but I prefer the shot coming from the back. Okay, he's released the 9. Hard to tell if the 14 goes. It might just go past the 1 into the top right. He's played that very well. Didn't have much of an angle there. Also close proximity between the cue ball and the object ball. Have a look at this. He's done well to get the cue ball there and to move the 14, but also that could have worked out better. He's played a great shot. Hasn't been rewarded with great position, and this looks like he's going off the 5. He is. Ball off a ball. That's a tough shot to get right. So at the moment, neither player getting fully punished for their mistakes. And that's why you see such a tight scoreline at the moment. Andrew trying to get the cue ball tight behind the 4 ball with that shot, but he's left it stuck to the bottom cushion on our screen. That's there, and he's on the 14. Yeah, he as well, he hasn't found his rhythm in this match yet. As we have seen, when these top Chinese players do find their rhythm, it might take a while, but once they do, like we did yesterday, we saw it with Kong De Jing. And this black ball to even up the match again, and so far very evenly matched. These 2 players 5-all in this race to 13. There's nothing in it. It's just that Hao Chen has 3 rack and runs. Otherwise, both players playing very similar. I would say that Andrew has been slightly unlucky when at the table. If you are looking for the draw, the flow chart, and the live scores, they are available on WHT, our World Heyball Tour Facebook page. You can scroll down about 3 or 4 posts and you can find the link to the live scores and see exactly who is playing, what table they're playing on, and where you can find that match as well. As we see a better break now from Hao Chen, potting ball in the top right corner pocket. Looked to me like it was the 7. Yeah, the 7 got kicked by the 4. So this is the losers bracket round 3. Players playing at the moment have lost 1 match. Shen Yi is currently playing Zhao Jianbo. Scores 6-2 to Shen Yi. Shen Yi, the player who knocked out Chu Bingji last night. Now, Chu Bingji was in the losers bracket after losing to Zheng Kongpeng 13-12 yesterday morning, and then lost to Shen Yi last night. So, and Zhao Jianbo, also in the losers bracket, winner of the Division 1 tour a few days back. And I would say that's one of the most surprising upsets at the moment, is Chu Bingji being knocked out that early. Top 32 finish for him. We have Richard Halliday from South Africa against Ali Pordal from Iran. Score currently 4-all at the 8-frame player break. And the dark horse Sun Yan up against Le Delgadi from Mongolia. Score is 6-3 to Sun Yan. And Temujin, Enekbal Temujin from Mongolia, playing fellow countrywoman Gan Orkon. Score is 5-3 to Temujin in that match. Yeah, you can't cheat the pocket with those ones. Not a chance. That center pocket doesn't like to be cheated on. I would like to see a replay of that actually, because he didn't miss that by far. I was heading towards the outside jaw, but the pace also kept it out. But a shot like that has to be played that way, as he was trying to get the cue ball moving and back onto the side of the table. Yeah, I was just about to say this was a good chance for Andrew to get his first rack and run on the board and make a clearance against Hao Chen. He's left the 6, he's left the 3. Yeah, I prefer the 6. Punch the 6 in. Use the angle to get onto the 3. I would say that is one of the most important shots in this game now. The punch shot. And that previous shot you saw on the 6 to land on the 3, that was a punch stroke. It's a firm stun, but the punch, you're able to clock the trajectory of the white ball so well. It's always going to go in the same angle. It's always going to move in the same way. As he manages to clinch that frame, now leading 6 frames to 5, Hao Qian. This is a race to 13 winners break format, and these two players have met. They played each other yesterday morning at the start of stage 3. Score was 13-10 in favor of Hao Qian. So the likes of Gareth Potts and other players who are still on the winner's side will be playing later today. That'll be at 5 p.m. local time here in China. That will be the winner's bracket and the players who have won their matches in this round. As we see the 7 going into the center, hand raised. That is not the ball that he wants to go in. In this morning's matches, it's only the round 3 of the losers bracket. There's only 8 matches on at the moment, including this match on TV Table 1. On TV 2, we have Shen Shenyi against Zhao Jianbo, 6-2 to Shen Shenyi. Liu Haitao 5-3 up against Shen Shuangyu. A nice shot on the 3. Richard Halliday from South Africa, 4-all with Ali Pordell at the moment. first break and run for the match. Hao Chen to go 7-5 up with that break and run.
13局，郝天开球。
And I don't think he's made a ball this time. He's currently 7-5 up. 1 break and run, 3 rack and runs for Hao Chen. And nothing in now. This is the time when Andrew needs to, he needs to keep the scoreline tight. He can't afford to go 3 frames down. He's been doing a good job picking up the pieces in this match. I would love to see a replay of that. He went for the 2 to break up the solids. The 2 could go, but those are tough to judge. Yeah, I think the 2 could just go off the left-hand side jaw into the center, but very close to the 3. He's left an open table for Hao Chen. Stripes in play now. The 14 connects to the 13, can push the 13 down the rail. 15 goes into the same pocket that the 13 will go into. I do think the 14 does clip into the right center from there, and it will be naturally pushing the 13 down the cushion. Should be on the 11. Yeah, he's taken his eye off the pot there, and both these players at the moment missing balls that you don't expect them to. Yeah, it was much finer on the 14 than it looked. But look at where the 14's gone. It was a tough 2 that Andrew took on to the top right corner pocket. But also if you look at the layout of the table, he has to get perfect on the 10 ball or the 11 to open up the 14. Now these tactical frames, when there hasn't been a straight clearance, that's when Andrew has been the stronger player. And have a look at where he's left the cue ball. It's just like that. He's able to get the tactical advantage in the frame and And yeah, clinch those important frames. Because at this level, most players can make the clearance if there is one, but the tactical ability, and he is not happy with that. He was playing the 14 down to the 13. And a bit scrappy from both players at the moment, but I do see a chance for Andrew to get his 6th frame on the board. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this frame. Both players have missed balls. I think 4 or 5 misses in this frame thus far. It's so uncharacteristic, especially with the level that they played at yesterday morning. 6 clearances from Andrew, 8 clearances from his opponent. Ali Pordell has taken the lead against Richard Halliday. Score is 6-4 in favor of Ali Pordell from Iran against Richard Halliday from South Africa. It's going to push it into the 3. And that positional error from Hao Chen might cost him this point. What could have been 8-5, now looking like 7-6. That's exactly what Andrew Paget needs to do. He needs to keep the scoreline tight. He can't afford to let his opponent run away. I tell you what, these are important frames to take for Andrew. This black ball to make it 7-6, just 1 frame behind after this. As he does it, 7-6 in this race to 13, so almost halfway there, and a very tight match at the moment.
14局，安德鲁·佩吉特为球。10秒，延时。
So this match to get into the last 16 of stage 3, 32 players started the stage, down to 24 currently. After this round, we'll eliminate another 8 players. And currently 7-6 in favor of Hao Chen from China over Andrew Paget from the UK. Now at the moment, Andrew at the table. There's 3 solids left, but navigating through them, you see, the 14 and the 9 is the problem. The 3 does go. The 7 goes to the center and the corner as well. And I think he's played for the gap between 9 and 14. And he's got it. He's down quick. He's got the gap. Yeah, this is much better now from Andrew. Yeah, definitely much better from Andrew Paget as he takes his 7th point and equalizes the match at 7-all. Yeah, so he didn't let Hao Chen run away with the lead when he was 7-5 up. That was a very important 8-5 that would have been in trouble. He's brought it back to 7-all. Stays at the table breaking, and it looks like he's found some flow now. First player in the match to find some flow. He's made the 12 bottom left corner pocket, raises his hand to apologize for that. And that's because it's the 13 and the 7 that was supposed to go into the center. Now, if they don't go into the center straight away, then you will see the hand go up. It's a very purposeful break in the game of Heyball. Can he get the 1 in off the 14? It's very tight. This is the kind of shot where you have to hit the 14 so full. Nicely played. He played that so well. Played that at the right pace as well. You hit that too hard, you actually get a bounce back off the object ball and it ends up hitting the jaw very early. He must won like that earlier, so he looks good at the moment, does Andrew Black. Black ball looks like it might go to the bottom right corner. Have to be behind the pocket to see that. But if not, if it needs a slight touch like that here, and having a look at the black ball now, it does pass. Can clearly see the gap between black ball and 10 ball. Now at the moment, Andrew Paget keeping his opponent in the chair. And you can see shot time has increased. He's quick when he's flowing, is Andrew. Yeah, playing the positive shots. Black ball definitely does go. And this will be the first break and run for Andrew Paget. And it's there. Oh my word. How has he done that? What should have been a break and run ends up being his opponent's frame. Cue ball in off the black ball. Score 8-7 to Hao Qian. That is such an unfortunate error to make for Andrew Paget. He would have been 8-7 up, first break and run for him. And it looked like he was finding some sort of rhythm in this match finally. Ali Pordell is currently 7-4 up against Richard Halliday from South Africa. That's on table 5. We have Shen Yi on TV table 2 up 7-5 on Zhao Jianbo. The score is currently 8-7 to Hao Qian. Try break brings Andrew to the table. Now we will have the 16 frame play interval after this frame. The question is, do we go into the break all level like we did earlier at 4 all and this time 8 all, or does Hao Qian get his 9th point? Best result for Andrew would be level, of course, and especially since it looks like he is finding his form now. going into the break level. I think he knows that he should be able to put together a couple of quick finishes. Oh, I like the angle he has on the 14 to get into the 12. Look at this. Yeah, and that's how it's been going for him. That's exactly how it's been going throughout this match for Andrew. I've not seen him get one good run. Good pot. Again. Yeah, I think I was gonna say take the cross bank on, but look at where the cue ball's heading. It's heading into so much of traffic. He's taken it. Yeah, to check the white off those cushions, making the pot much more difficult. And now, Hao Chen at the table, 7 solids left on the table, has the numerical advantage. And usually in a situation like this, player with more balls on the table should never lose the frame. Add to that where the 12 currently is. If the cue ball stays where it is, the 12 is safe. Yeah, fired the 3 ball into the top right corner pocket. And after this, it takes the 4 on. Everything's open. Yeah, now you see those little bumps like that into the 1 now. If the cue ball, if the angle on the cue ball widened up slightly, he's on the other side of the 1 ball, can't see the 4. Tight up against the 1, he has to bridge for the 7. Do you see how that can change the game? 1 bad roll. And so far, that's the kind of things that's been happening to Andrew in this match. Not saying that you play relying on luck, but to get bad roll after bad roll is, I mean, it's torture for a player. And this looks like it should be 9th point for Hao Chen as we go into the 16 frame player interval. Yeah, even there, cue ball gets stuck behind the 12 and you're in trouble. But these little rolls working out for him at the moment, and this black ball for his 9th point. He gets it, he leads 9-7 as we go into the 16 frame player interval. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天；遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心。以点线面，以小见大，无蜘蛛
匠心之作。
河北省天一集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
园有枳兮，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，无水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物唯厨酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。他带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范，助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼，楼高30多米。巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。唯厨酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温馨浪漫的红酒文化之中。唯厨酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄，同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间，人声鼎沸，好评如潮。唯厨酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《侗情芷江》，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。唯厨酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。唯厨有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美侗乡酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人郑卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa Our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
That's for no question.
冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
战结束，比赛继续，17局，好听开球。
And we are back after that player interval at 16 frames played. Score 9-7 in favor of Hao Chen. As the white ball goes in, yeah, the 4 was heading towards the center pocket. The scoreline should have been way different, but Andrew Paget on that break and run 2 frames ago, potting the black ball and the cue ball. That would have been to make it 8-7 in his favor. He would have then had the chance to be 9-7 up. But now ball in hand behind the balk line for him. And so far he's done very well in this match to not be more than 2 frames behind his opponent. He's kept him right there. A nice nudge on the 14 to just free it. It's a bit unlucky where the cue ball is, very close to the 2. Have to bridge over the 2 to pot this 9 into the right center pocket. You're playing it dead weight as well. He just has to keep the pressure on, keep the scores close. First job is to, of course, equalize the scoreline as fast as you can. This is a race to 13 winners break. We are in stage 3, day 6 of this tournament. Last 24 players at the moment. I'm sure that when I looked at the scoreline before, Shen Sheni was up on Zhao Jianbo 7-5 or 7-4. Scoreline is now 9-7 in favor of Zhao Jianbo. The only thing I can think is that he put together a few break and finishes. Yes, it is. 5 break and runs for Zhao Jianbo. And in this winners break format, that could have been a few consecutives. Ali Pordal is 9-4 up on Richard Halliday from South Africa. And Andrew Paget is 1 good pot away from taking his 8-point. Nicely done. An 8-point is there for Andrew Paget. Rack and run for him as well. That's his first rack and run of the match. 1 rack and run for Andrew, 3 rack and runs for Hao Chen, and 1 break and run as well.
18局，安德鲁佩吉特开球。
The fork could go, it doesn't. And that's a dry break. Yeah, I was almost certain the 6 was into that center pocket on the left side. So Hao Chen comes to the table, currently 9-8 up, with an open table.
10秒。
If the scoreline does go 12-12 decider, we will have another player break at 24 frames played. Player intermission is every 8 frames in this tournament. Yeah, the 2 ball does go into the center, but you have to be around where the 3 ball is for the 2 to drop into the center pocket. It's got some work now to navigate around these 4 remaining solid balls. He did try to free the 2 with that. So the 9 was next to the 2. He's pushed the 9 up. There's a good chance he'll have to take the 2 to the top right corner pocket. This is getting tougher, this clearance at the moment, and just 3 solids left on the table. Andrew still with 7 stripes, so if he does let Andrew to the table, Andrew does become a huge favorite to clinch this frame and even up the score once again.
3
It's now almost straight on the 3 to the bottom left corner. Can't do much with the cue ball. Look at how close it is to the 13. This 2 has to go to the top. Look at the bridging required. Yeah, this goes in. It's a well-deserved point for Hao Chen. Off Andrew's try break, there were a few clusters on the table. He's done well to get this far. This is a tester. You have to do a little bit with the cue ball, just bring it back about 10 centimeters. It's there. Great pot on the 2. Got the position on the black ball as well, and this for his 10th point and another rack and run for him, and that's off Andrew's dry break. It's their 10th point for Hao Chen and first player to get to double digits in this match.
我是代言人郑卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
第19局，昊天开球。
So Hao Chen currently 10-8 up, and he's made a ball on the breakhand, goes up. Didn't make it in the pocket. Well, in the centers where it's supposed to go. And both these players have not been breaking the best in this match. And I think that's why we haven't seen that many break and runs. Just one so far from Hao Chen in the match. Andrew would have had a break and run had he not gone in off on the last black ball in that clearance. Now, as you can see, black ball does pot to the bottom left. You have to find the gap between 9, 13 and 11. And personally, I think the 3 ball is the connector for that gap. It's a natural pathway. Look, at the moment you can get there from all 3 of the solids left on the table, but I do think that 2, 7, 3 is the right way, because from the 7 you're naturally coming into the angle of the 3 to get nicely on the black ball to the bottom left corner. And that cue ball could have gone slightly further. He's okay on the 7 to the corner. He just has to control the cue ball nicely. Doesn't want to overrun this. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the 3. Yeah, and that's why leaving the 3 for last was the best option in this case. Gives you the best possible chance of getting onto the black ball, especially since it only pots in one pocket. It's not the kind of shot that you want to be working the cue ball a lot from your last ball to the black ball. And this for his second break and run and 11th point, and it's there. Hao Chen, 2 break and runs now on the board, 4 rack and runs, score 11-8 over Andrew Paget. So in this winner's break format, come back to the table if you win the frame, and that's why players can get consecutive break and runs. We have seen 6, I think, is the most in this tournament, or in the previous tournament from He Wen Chong. 6 consecutive break and runs, followed by 4 consecutive break and runs in that match against Zhao Ruliang. And that looks like a dry break. And that's where you can also see it is very tough to put together that many consecutive break and runs, because the first thing that needs to be right is the break. The break has to be working for you. You have to be making a ball on the break and have a ball to pot. Now Andrew Paget at the table, open table, he's 3 points behind. If there was a time for him to make a few clutch finishes, it's now. He needs to find a way to get onto the 6, either into it or right behind it. He's gotten off the shot on the 1. He's coming around to have a look at the angle on the 5. It's a good clean pot into the bottom left corner pocket. Now there is an angle on the 5 to get to the 6. He's playing to go into it. And do you see what I mean? He has been so unfortunate throughout this match. Nice pot on the 2, and he's left himself the cross double, the cross bank to the left center. And let's have a look at the path of the cue ball. He should be able to force it around the angles. Missed the 14. Yes. This is what we were talking about. Clutch finish from Andrew Paget off his opponent's dry break. Andrew Paget takes his 9th point and his 2nd rack and run of this match. And there we see the stats: 4 rack and runs, 2 break and runs for Hao Chen, 2 rack and runs for Andrew Paget. Ten, 9 down. He's pulling it back. 11, 9. It's a big frame now. It was an important break to make a ball or to not leave an easy clearance for his opponent. And so far he's done really well to not let his opponent take more than 3 frames in the lead. He's brought it back now to just 2 frames, 11-9. I would say based on the 2, the 1, and the 9, I'd be going solids. Because for me, there's no good connector to the 9 if you are on stripes. The 14 is there, but look at the path you have to find. And you're taking the 14 now as well. So it's much more difficult to get to the 9. Not only that, if you do get to it, what's your recovery? Because you're not dead certain that you're gonna get into the 9, move the 9 and be on it. That's relying on a touch of luck. Look, he has the angle on the 12 now. If there was a time to get to the 9, it's now. There he comes, it's there, it's good. And that's what I was talking about. Having no other ball in that vicinity means that even if you get to the 9, very high chance that you're not on anything after that, and it's gone as bad as it could have for him. Bad enough that the jump cue is out. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I would have taken solids. So I think that was an error from Hao Chen, and we'll see how that plays out now, whether Andrew can capitalize on that and get his 10th point on the board, bring this match within 1 frame. Yeah, he's looking like he's finding a rhythm now around the table. That was a good shot and good result on the 3. Better, nice little touch into the 13 to stay on the 7. He's back. Yeah, he's slightly off angle on the 6, but the positive way to play this is off and on right side cushion. Yeah, there we go. That is the positive way to play that shot. Striking the ball much better now is Andrew Paget. Has to come through the gap. Yes, much, much better. And that for his 10th point, he brings it back to just 1 frame in this match, 11-10 in favor of Hao Chen.
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153， 这我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多。
佩吉特开球。
Nice break from Andrew Paget in this 22nd frame, and if it goes 12 all, we will have another player interval at 24 frames played. In these last few frames, he's definitely found another gear. And you can see if you'd have played like this all along, scoreline would have been very different at this point in the match. He's not doubting any shot at the moment. It's very fluid. Got the pace of the table nicely. And this, once again, will be his first break and run of this match. And this black ball to make it 11 all, and it's there, 11 all break and run for Andrew Paget. What a time to find your rhythm and find your flow in a match, just when you need it the most. He was 11-8 down, he's made it 11 all. Very nicely done from Andrew Paget from the UK.
第23局，阿德鲁佩吉特开球。
I don't see a ball in. No, nothing's in. Dry break at 11 all. I did see there is a slight cluster at the bottom end of the table. Yeah, bottom right hand side. 2 solids and 2 stripes. So the 1 and the 14 do go at the bottom of that cluster, which means can use the 14 to slightly nudge 13 or 6 or 10 or even use the 12. So definitely a few more options being on stripes. So the scoreline between these two players yesterday morning was 13-10 in favor of Hao Qian. It's definitely a closer match than it was yesterday already, being 11 all at the moment. Yeah, now he's pushed the 11 down, which has covered the pocket for the 10, but To me, it looks like he has an angle on the 12 to nudge the 13. How is that not the shot he's taking?
10秒。
I don't understand that. Coming from the top, if he went 12 into the 13, he was guaranteed to be on something. Like now, he's locked the cue ball up. He's on nothing. Nothing goes. He's in trouble. And currently, with the way that Andrew is playing,
10秒。延时。
that's why he's taken his extension. Players get 45 seconds per shot and one extension of 30 seconds per frame.
10秒。5、4。
Yeah, now that is a legal shot. You play your ball first, you pot your opponent's ball, and it's used to gain a tactical advantage, as you can see. That is a brilliant shot from Andrew, and what a time to play a shot like that. 11 all, race to 13. He has stuck the cue ball right up against the ball cushion. That's not bad. That is not bad considering what he came to the table looking at. That is not a bad result. He's tied up the 5. He's blocked the pocket as well for the 5, even if he releases it from the 13. Yeah, but this is where Andrew is so dangerous. Former professional snooker player, highest ranking of 42nd in the world. So those kind of shots are right up his alley, putting the cue ball exactly where he wants it. Good jump shot from Hao Chen, legal. It's another one behind the 4 and the 3. Look, I don't doubt that he's going to make contact. I think what Andrew would like is if he goes for one of these shots and then breaks up the 13 and 5. Yeah, I think that couldn't have worked out any better for Andrew Paget. He's managed to force a mistake. He's been patient, he's forced the mistake. And that's what happens when you have the numerical advantage on the table. As you see, Andrew with 7, solid 7, playing 3. You're able to utilize your tactical game so much easier when you have that many balls on the table, so many more places to put the cue ball. If he can hold his nerve, what a 12 point this will be for Andrew. It's a bit awkward at the bottom. He has to watch out for the 5, but he has to focus on this 2. It's there. Just. He's taken these really nicely, but forcing the mistake, that was the key sequence of events. Forced the mistake from Hao Chen, opened the 5 and looked certain to get his 12th point and be the first player on the hill. It's there. Andrew Paget leads 12 frames to 11 in this race to 13.
第二是安德鲁佩蒂特和球。
And what a time to have a break like that for Andrew Paget. Let's have a look at this break again. You got the 15 and the 3 tracking towards the center. The 3 falls, the 7 falls.
10秒，延时。
A tactical move from Andrew. He secured stripes and he's trying to secure the frame now. Now, so far in this match, every time a frame's gone tactical, Andrew has been able to clinch that frame.
10秒。
So trying to get the cue ball up onto the ball cushion. Has he left anything? I don't think the 14 goes to the center. Could go off the 4, but I mean, how risky is that to play? We can't see whether it goes to the corner, so he's not playing the 14, he's playing the 12. And he's taken the pot on. Now, where's the cue ball going to land? Yeah, that's worked out. That's a shot from Andrew Paget. What a shot and what a time to play it. And just look at how he's able to hold his nerve. I mean, this match so far for him has been like, if you had to compare it to a snooker match, it's like coming to the table 70 points down and having to make a clearance to win the frame. That's how this match has been. It's been an uphill battle for him. He's not been getting the rolls, and I mean, what a time. So he needs to connect to the 10 ball here. This is all about pace. It's looking good. He's chosen to come down the left-hand side of the table. Absolutely brilliant so far from Andrew Paget in these last few frames. Winning the frames that he shouldn't win. And he's done it. Into the last 16 goes Andrew Paget from the UK, defeating Hao Qian 13 frames to 11. And, you know, that's something we call bottle. He really has the bottle, does Andrew Paget, to play under immense pressure and pull off the shots when he needs to. Brilliant stuff from Andrew Paget from the UK, the Welsh wizard. We will be back at about 5 p.m. local time tonight for the rest of the action. That's from the winners bracket and the losers bracket as well. So yeah, stay with us and stay tuned to our Facebook and YouTube pages, as we will be back later on today. I'm Raymond Tilak, your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, and we'll be back later. Take care. Thanks, guys.